band even?
Yep. Good to go.
Cool, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 51.
Of Sad Dads Club podcast.
That dude is Jim.
And that dude, Larry? Oh.
God. I have so many names.
I know. Like Johnson.
Yeah.
That dude is Foo.
Yeah.
I know this.
You know this.
So, I don't know if we should, but I feel like we should say the normal stuff that they just can't keep us from saying and give us crap about because he's not here.
Yes. He's educating himself.
To a certain extent.
Right. We would hope.
Yeah. So we can say you can find us on Apple Music,
Spotify,
Google Music,
iHeartRadio, YouTube,
and there's another one.
our website.
And then there's another one. Did we say them all?
I think we got them all.
Dang. Well, you can get us pretty much everywhere.
And
so
you could do fancy shit like putting some skills on your Alexa and then tuning that to a podcast and then saying, Alexa, play my Sad Dads Club podcast.
You can, absolutely.
And for those fans that go that far, I have a lanyard for you. If you have that configured,
yeah,
send us a tweet or something that you have that configured. I will send you a lanyard.
Yeah, Sad Dads Club podcast lanyard.
Yeah.
You can put your keys on it.
Oh, there.
All right, is something happening?
Oh, we got hardcore eyeball fucking
Oh, nice.
peanut gallery.
I hope they're wearing a condom. Oh. No?
I'm married. It's over.
No, them.
Oh, them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Safe sex.
Yeah, we don't want them to catch anything.
Right.
So, I have something funny I want to talk about.
Okay.
'Cause this slays me.
Okay.
So, I've been given the permission, actually, to talk about this a little bit because the wife is hitting the time of her life
Okay.
where she gets warm on occasion.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And so she has gone onto Amazon and bought fans
Okay.
and had them delivered to the house, which is cracking me up. And so this one fan, it's kind of crazy. You can see the box I got it here if you're watching it on YouTube. But
It's a mini fan. It's a smaller fan.
It says on the top, comfort fan on desk, which is pretty funny.
Okay.
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 And then it says the 4 shifts ocean wind fluctuating from big to small. That's what it says on the top.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
This is classic to me, okay?
This is our English.
Yes. Easy cleaning, safety net, removable cleaning / ensure product hygiene.
Ensure the product's hygiene.
Yes.
I practice that every morning in the shower.
But, exactly. The 4 shifts ocean wind fluctuating from big to small. That cracks me up.
Okay.
So, that's not the funniest stuff. The funniest stuff to me is the stuff on the side, which tells the features, what we would call it here in America.
Okay.
The features.
The
of a
features.
fan. But in that word do they use the word features. They use the word characteristic.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And the first characteristic of said fan is support for windshield volume adjustment anytime and anywhere comfortable use.
Okay.
Okay.
Support for
the number 4 windshield volume adjustment.
Okay.
Anytime and anywhere comfortable use.
Okay. All right.
So if you want to blow it on your cooter, it's comfortable use.
Comfortable use.
Yeah, anytime too.
4
o'clock in the morning.
4
cooter blow
or 400.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, so that's the first characteristic. Number 2, lithium polymer cell capacity is 3,000 milliamps, lasting up to 18 hours. That's pretty cool. It's rechargeable.
Well, there you go. Nailed that one.
Yeah, they nailed
That's
that
an
one.
easy Google Translate.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The number 3, super light, leisure essential artifact for study and relax. Do I need to repeat that?
Yeah. Wait.
Super light, leisure essential artifact for study and relax.
Oh. So it's like an Indiana Jones fan.
It's super light. And also, if
he only had that when he was opening the Ark of the Covenant.
Does that mean that it's easy to study and relax with? You have to study the fan to relax?
Fuck.
I don't know what this means. All right, the next one says, the number one, super mute mode, low noise, quiet and comfortable.
Oh.
Yeah. So apparently,
is it?
I guess. Well, I don't know. When she had it on full blast next to her in the bedroom, it had some white noise coming off of it.
No, it didn't.
Noticeable.
But it wasn't like Stormy Daniels on a porn set.
No, not at all.
Okay.
All right. So the next one says control of 45-degree angle free wind up and down.
God.
Control of 45-degree angle free wind up and down.
Okay, man.
I mean, these
Google's really struggling with the kanjis.
Yeah, it's rough, man. Okay, but the best one yet.
Okay.
The best one, and the final characteristic.
Okay.
USB desktop fan, turn left, partner. No joke. That's what it says right on there. Turn left, partner. What does that mean? I
wonder what that was supposed to mean.
I don't know, man.
Does it oscillate at all?
I don't think.
Left.
No, this one does not oscillate.
Does it have any adjustments?
It has a 45-degree angle adjustment. But
I wonder if you have to turn something left to...
USB desktop fan, turn left, partner.
I got nothing. Boy, I got nothing.
What?
What?
So now we're partners in this fan business.
Yeah, it sounds like a fucking cowboy fan.
And like maybe Google is telling me I need to turn left.
For to make the plugging, see at OK Corral, 6-shooter, bring your cowbell.
We were dying laughing at turn left, partner. Because why would you ever put that on a product?
Comfort fan on desk.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny.
That whole thing is curious to me. So I get the meme, the English. It's funny, right? So that.
Well, I mean, that just means they don't have anybody that knows English well enough.
Right. So this is Amazon?
Yeah.
So this is curious to me because I've run across plenty of documentation on some of the products that as a electronics thing. A lot of the stuff that you buy has it's a Chinese translation.
Oh, absolutely.
If you've somehow made it to the tier in which you're a vendor or a supplier and you're out routing all of your products through Amazon, are you really that incapable of finding someone speaking Mandarin for pennies on the dollar, perhaps even overseas at a university overseas in Japan or even China, that will be like, we need you to translate this so that we don't look like buffoons?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to take that serious.
Is it such a... I mean, does she have any problems with the fan?
No, not really. Other than that,
so maybe that's just it. Maybe it's just so simple that... Because we were talking about this in the last podcast, right?
But turn left, partner.
Right. I mean, but therein lies like the giant confundus of the whole thing.
Yeah.
We talked about the last podcast. It was, if there is someone that... Because... Our Piper's our kids' generation almost see this as memeable.
Right.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
And so then you turn it into like the 3 Wolves shirt on Amazon with the reviews where people buy it because people have just memed the comment section. Like, I pulled like so many hoes going to the club wearing this 3 Wolves and the moon shirt.
Right.
It's like, so it's possible as long as the product is functional.
Yeah. It works.
That people are like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it's joke and it's funny. And so then you get back to like the company that's cranking these out and they're just like, our translation is terrible and completely botched.
The fan works.
And we get like a 5% comment ratio of how people are offended that they have no idea what a turn left partner is relative to our 45-degree adjustment.
Yeah.
But 95% of the people that buy this don't give two shits.
Yeah.
And so they just like, we are funny, yes.
Yeah, I totally don't give a shit. I mean, but it's just funny.
Right.
Yeah.
So
did they use the Google machine for all these?
And you almost have to wonder, is that part of like a marketing strategy? They're like, we're already a product of China.
Yeah.
People realize that. So how can we make our product stand up? Listen, on the translate, I want you to translate from Mandarin to English, back to Mandarin, and then back to English
over
again.
To Finnish and then back to English.
And then what do you get? You get USB desktop fan, turn left partner. Fuck it. Put it on the box, print it.
That's good
done.
shit. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, we just were like, turn left partner, and then every once in a while someone would say, turn left partner, and we just start laughing again. Funny stuff.
God, it's like a Toy Story slogan.
Turn left partner.
I
don't know what that means. I feel like maybe I'm missing out on some function of the fan by not turning left partner. You know what I mean? Like, is there something I should know more?
Yeah.
That I don't
like
know.
Like
if
it turns too far left. Did you ever have a fan that like started to blow its oscillator? And like,
well, what if you're not a partner?
It would like get to the end and it would be like.
Yeah.
Happens a lot on Rainbirds.
Oh,
like
yeah, they
fans.
get stuck. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just thought that was funny. I was like, I'm not going to say a word to Foo about this because it's funny as shit, and I want to talk about it on the show because I think that's hilarious.
I am sure when Mike gets to the episode, he will have English comedy
probably
ready on deck.
Probably.
Because it's I mean, it's funny without offending anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where we are.
That's where
That's where we are in this. Like,
that's where we at.
You get stuff that doesn't, but it works.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
that's what's
works.
hard about,
I mean, whatever. I mean, sometimes you get the directions that are completely jacked up. Like the user manual, and I think, what did I buy? Oh, it was the arm for my monitor.
Yeah.
And it came with Chinese. Obviously, there were Chinese translated directions, and they were just terrible. Like all the text on it was just messed up. But the turn left partner, that's what got me.
I just bought something that had really great documentation, and I'm totally drawing a blank on what it was. I was like, man. It was the dash cam.
Oh, yeah, from Anker?
Right. No, it was not the Anker one. It actually, and I'm drawn. I'll have to link it in the description or explicitly mention it. It was originally a Kickstarter.
Okay.
And it reminded me very much like an Apple unboxing. Everything had its own special box.
Yeah.
It was clearly labeled, and it was packaged. It was really well packaged. The documentation was crystal clear.
Yeah.
It was simplified. But it was clearly made in China. But they nailed. I mean, the documentation was impeccable.
Well, they
and
probably
the packaging as well.
They probably hired somebody that did very good English translation.
Right, and so you get this like dichotomy between two products. Like the functionality is there on either side, but one clearly cares about the translation.
Yeah.
One is like, it's a fucking fan.
They're
don't
like,
care.
It's good enough to sell whatever.
Yeah,
we don't give a shit.
It's very affordable. American make purchase.
Yeah, if we wanted to spend extra money on that, it's just for somebody to translate the stuff properly.
Yeah,
that's just less money we're gonna make on every unit. I mean, they're probably only making pennies on it anyway.
Yeah.
So. But turn left partner.
Turn left partner.
Yeah.
So speaking of a dash cam, God, that was so it has this button.
Yeah.
That allows you can mount it anywhere.
Yeah.
It works off Bluetooth. So you can press it to take a snapshot picture.
Oh.
Like without having to like
touch the thing
or take a snapshot of the video. So I have it mounted just underneath my e-brake lever. So if I'm shifting and I'm driving with left hand,
you can
and I'm shifting, I can reach underneath my lever or my e-brake and just press a button and take a snapshot picture from the camera at.
Now, what brand is it, or what's the name of the?
I want to say Vava. VAVA. It had really good ratings, and it was originally a Kickstarter, which I think is why, and it mentioned that in the packaging.
Vava dash cam. I see that now.
Yeah. It's very up out of the way. There was tons of cords. I bought, I think the extra package that has like a Bluetooth or a USB powered rear camera, which I didn't hook up because I'm so small. I didn't have really a place for it.
What did you say?
The
so
car
small.
is so small.
Okay, all right.
I'll wreck you if you want to see. You leave here limping more than you're limping now.
Is it 2K?
It does
4K.
4K. I think I got the 4K one, and that was the extra package.
Okay.
But you could put the rear camera. I assume I could probably put it just under my, sunroof and just see rear passengers as opposed to, out the back window. Really well packaged. It went in really easy. I tried to not break or go through anything that in the Ford that I did not want to be able to undo or be concerned about undoing. It took me the bulk of the Saturday that I was tinkering with it. But I didn't have to cut or break anything, and I went into an existing power source, so I didn't have to splice anything. So I'm good. I'm like, man, I would love to hardline it, and I did buy a kit to hardline it.
So basically, put
into a fuse
breaker. Or
yeah,
a fuse
I bought a kit to take to put it into the fuse box and use an existing fuse holder.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do that. I don't know if I want to run another line through the firewall because I was really retentive about that when I was doing the stereo. It's a pain in the ass anyway.
Yeah.
But I made it work through the existing routing through the headliner, out the passenger side, and then up underneath the passenger seat and into the center console.
Where's their power coming from?
It comes from the USB right in the middle of the console. It takes 5 volts off of the center console.
I get you.
It has the shock G. It has a GPS.
This one right here?
Yes. Yeah. Had good reviews.
I had not heard of this one.
I went into it looking for the Anker one. But for the value that I was looking to spend, along with a rear camera if I ever wanted to buy it, along with a GPS.
Is it the 149 one?
I think so.
Right.
And the remote snapshot thing. I don't have an immediate use for that, but it would be handy. And so I spent a good amount of time tinkering and goofing off with it, pressing the button here, taking snapshots.
That's kind of interesting way it mounts to the windshield with the cone thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's a magnetic mount. Oh. So you suction the mount base, but the pod itself, which looks like a hockey puck,
magnets to it.
It magnets to it.
Oh,
so
I
see. It's got extreme granularity as far as where I point it, as far as the dash cam goes. And if I need to take it off, I can just pull it off the mount itself.
Now the Anker one I bought, it had a 3M sticky pad, and so I had that in the Civic initially, and the windshield remember when the rock hit my windshield and it shattered?
Yeah.
And so I had to replace the windshield. Well, the problem is that 3M sticky thing isn't reusable, and so I went back to Anker and I said, hey, I got this dash cam and the mount was mounted to the thing, and I had to replace the windshield, so I couldn't reuse that. And they were more than happy to send me another one, but I was like, really, what I really want is a suction cup mount, because this new windshield, I want to put a tint strip on it. And I don't know when that's going to happen, and I don't want fix it and then have to get another one.
Right.
So can I just get a suction? And they kind of hemmed and hawed a little bit, but were like, yeah, we'll send you one kind of thing. And so they ended up sending me both.
So they make one. It was just not part of that camera.
No, yeah, they just don't include it. So that's what was on there, was the suction cup mount. When it got really hot, like some days, that thing would fall off the windshield, which was the only crummy thing. But with the 3M sticky pad, that thing would never come off.
Yeah.
But when Melanie got in her accident, the suction cup broke loose, and the cam ended up dangling from the power wire.
Yeah.
And kind of spinning around, and so it caught a lot of weird shit right after the accident.
No.
But it still works. We have it.
Yeah.
And the way I ran power to that was, it's a USB cable, and it was an Anker, so it came with an Anker 12-volt thing. Mm-hmm. So I bought on Amazon just a 12-volt socket,
mm-hmm.
and then I teed it off of the 12-volt behind the dash where the normal 12-volt socket is in the car.
Yeah.
I just teed it off there and then plugged the Anker socket into the 12-volt. The Anker...
Can you see footage live, or do you have to wait?
Well, can you see it live?
Yeah. Can you see? Because the app for the Vava, I can
open
see
it and watch it.
Yeah, I can open and watch live footage. Or do you have to pull it off the memory card and then watch a file? Not that you should be watching your phone while driving.
I don't think.
Because it's the same shit you're looking at with your eyes.
Right. Well, I don't remember what the restriction was. I remember, like when it snowed when I went to work. When I got to work, I would have to... The way it worked was you could pull the memory card out like normal and
mm-hmm.
go read it. But what I would always do is you would take your phone and then Wi-Fi connect to the Anker,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and then just transfer the files over to my phone through the ROAV app.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that fast, but it was good enough.
Yeah.
It only took a couple minutes. But that's how I did. I don't think I ever really looked at it in a live situation to see what it was doing.
Yeah.
I just kind of used it.
I don't know why you would use that, but it is there. I'm like, oh, that's...
Maybe for the kids, you pipe to the back seat and they have something to watch.
Yeah. Instead of looking at my headrest, check out traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, did you see that car in front of me?
Quit bitching. Play the license plate game or whatever.
Yeah. So use that giant screen right next to your head that's called the window.
Yeah.
And look out of it.
Yeah. I just saw, speaking of funny car rides, I saw this thing on Twitter going around about things that your kids don't know.
People did?
Yes. Did you find that too?
No, I didn't. But
things that your kids don't know how to do that you do.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things was a whole bunch of people mentioned window cranks.
Oh, yeah.
Like how much strength it takes to crank down a fucking window.
I was telling my daughter, so when we gave her the Civic, I was like, well, my first car had crank windows. She's all, what? What is that? And I'm like,
oh, my God.
Like, yeah. I'm all, you had to crank the window to make it go up and down, like with your arm strength?
Yeah.
She's like, what?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen any of the videos of the, there was one probably a couple months back of the parents recording I think it was two boys, and they said, dial this phone number. And it was a landline rotary.
Yes, I saw that.
And they're like looking at it like...
they're like pressing on it.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, that was funny. I don't get it.
Yeah, the rotary phones was on there. Like, kids don't know how to... but now they've got... What was that? There's that one show from the 80s.
That 70s show?
No. It's on currently... And it's got I think Patton Oswalt is like a narrator of one of the younger boys, and it's a throwback to them having rotaries and whatnot. So I think a lot of people who watch that show, probably in our younger generation behind us, are picking up how to do a rotary off of that.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's kind of funny to think about that. And it was a big deal. Remember the Princess phone, right? That was the traditional phone with the button pad on the front. Those were the
oh yeah,
that was what they were called, was the Princess phone.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that was like a big deal to have the push buttons.
Oh, the digits, the bank of
yeah.
Yeah. God, we went.
And then I remember Shanna.
Long time.
Shanna had her own. So at 80, I want to say she lived here in Roseville. 86, she got her first. It's the same phone number we have right now.
Yeah.
That she got in 1986.
Wow.
With her landline at her parents' house, and it was wired up to her bedroom, so her phone was connected with this like 100-foot extension cable that she would stretch down the hall from upstairs and then down the stairs and then put her phone at the bottom of the stairs. So if she was in the other room watching TV, the phone would ring and she could run over and answer it.
I distinctly remember my sister. Well, and then there was two, not necessarily the phone cord, but the long receiver.
Cord. Yeah.
The coiled receiver. My sister
on the wall-mounted one,
having like the 100-foot fucking one, so that she could. The phone was downstairs, so that she could run like upstairs or talk at the top of the stairs with this giant ass fucking coiled phone cord, like talking to whoever the hell she was talking to.
Yep.
But it was just this long ass cord. But the drawback was. We had two phones in the house, so then it was whether or not you could pick up the receiver and like sneak in and listen to your sister talking or your brother.
Stop listening to my call.
Stop, Mom.
That's something that kids don't get, because it's hard for them to fathom the fact that you could just pick up any other phone in the house
and be on the same line.
And most houses maybe only had one phone typically, but if you had 2 or 3 phones in your house, someone else could also answer it.
Oh yeah.
If the phone rang,
I got it. I got it.
Yeah. Hey, you can hang up. I got it.
You hang up. I got it.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Or okay, and then you just click the thing and then stay on.
Yeah. You do the boop boop. Oh yeah, right.
So it sounds like you hung up.
Yeah.
And then just listen.
I can hear you breathing, Jason. Sorry, Kelly.
My brother and I shared a phone line for a long time when we were same age as Shanna, and we had cordless phones that was like crazy, and they had the
huge.
Yeah, you got to pull them out, and they came out about this far.
Yeah.
We had those. So he had a phone in his room, and I had a phone in my room, and we split the cost of that bill. It was like $18 or something.
You had your own phone line?
Yeah.
Well, at least if it was in your room, then you knew whether or not he was picking up. I don't know how that would work.
Well, he had his own room, and I had my own room, so we were on opposite ends of the house.
One of the other things was dialing 911 from a payphone or using a payphone.
Payphones are pretty much
obsolete,
non-existent now.
I don't know. Do you know where there is one?
Yeah, we were somewhere recently, and there was a bank of them, and I was like, whoa, there's a bank of payphones here?
Local? Or
I'm trying to remember where it was. But it was like, wow, those are relics. Like, who uses these? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or getting a call at a payphone. The payphone would ring and you could answer it, right?
Yeah.
Call me back at this number, and you read the number off the front, and they would call the number.
We used to do that at Bear River at high school all the time because we couldn't afford cell phones. So we'd be like, we're done with PE or cross country practice.
Yeah.
And be like, call me back, or I call my mom, put a quarter in, call my mom, say, ready for pickup.
And then hang up.
And then hang up.
And then get your money back.
And then get money back. Like,
yeah.
Really fast.
Oh,
yeah. Click or collect calls.
Collect. Will you accept the charges? No.
From Jason.
Oh, from I'm ready to be picked up.
Yeah. No. Click.
Will you accept the call from I'm ready to be picked up?
Yeah.
No. All right. I got to go get in the car and get my son at school.
Yeah. My mom will be here in 10 minutes. You didn't even talk to her.
Yeah.
She knows.
The
message is.
That is rigging the system right there. That's
my
hilarious.
name is I'm ready to pick up.
Yeah.
Do it.
Kids don't know that shit. Now it's like robocalls and text messages, right? Or Snapchat, for Christ's sake. I can't stand Snapchat. I don't know why. It drives me insane.
I would prefer Snapchats over the Facebook products. I like the filters. I won't lie. I enjoy the filters.
I just don't.
Do you see my Thomas the Thomas ones?
I've seen.
When he does the weather reports, it's the little. He scrunches the face with the big eyeglasses.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Thomas the Thomas.
I have seen those.
With your weather report. It's hot. Fuck.
I don't know. There's something about Snapchat just grinds me. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm 48. You know what I mean?
We're definitely
on
a bit aged for some of those.
Yeah.
Social influencer products.
Yeah. Do you remember? Did you have dial-up ever?
Oh yeah.
So if someone else picks up the phone while it can interrupt your shit.
Oh yeah.
And that was crazy. No, pick it up. Oh, and then you get disconnected or something.
Anyway, Billy.
I'm trying to use the phone.
I'm on the call with my boyfriend.
I'm using CompuServe.
I have to check my email.
And I never could get AOL because at the time they didn't have any local numbers here. So we were using, first we had Prodigy. And then we had CompuServe. Those were the two that we had Prodigy for a while, and then we switched over to CompuServe.
So I remember the best part about working at the PC Solutions there in Auburn.
Yeah.
Was that the owner had made a deal with Oronet.
Oronet.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was a Grass Valley ISP. So all of the employees had, I want to say, some sort of discount or just add in.
Like dial-up account?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then we got kickdowns. I think the company got kickdowns for, this is the ISP in which we prefer here at PC Solutions. I'm sure we never saw it, but I'm sure the owner did as
actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we had Prodigy and then we had CompuServe, and then we ditched those services and just started using JPS.net.
Yes, I remember JPS.net.
We had JPS.net for our dial-up.
And all of those eventually all seem to aggregate into like one. Eventually, it was like one ISP that owned all the tiny guys with local number subsidiaries.
Right.
Like you could go anywhere and like.
Yeah. Well, why do all that work when somebody's already done it? You just snatch them up.
You just buy them.
Yeah.
And, it was like, you can just dial this, and they're using Oronet's local number. And it was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, the modem chirping and chiming. That was another one of those Twitter things. It was like being able to decipher or understand or hear or recognize the sound of a 28.8 modem doing its audible.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny was when we first got wireless at the house, I bought the very first airport base station, the very first one. And I think that they were one of the first to the market. I think there was somebody else had one out too, but they were one of the first ones. And it had a modem built into it. So it wasn't just for broadband. So we didn't have broadband.
So it had a modem backup?
It had a modem built on board. And so you plug the modem in, and then it was wireless. And so anytime you try to use a connection, like using Wi-Fi to the modem, it goes, oh, I need to connect. And then it would dial out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there was a lag the first time you tried to use it. You'd have to wait for the handshake.
Who was it dialing? An Apple ISP?
JPS.
Oh.
JPS
So you would
net.
program whatever ISP you had as a local number.
Exactly. So that was kind of wild. And that was before there was broadband even available.
Can you imagine how far we've come?
I know.
As far as broadband usage and bandwidth. Like back in the day, it was like watching the slow load of a Netscape browser with...
Yeah.
And
hopefully that picture was
dude, this is
compressed.
56K.
Yeah.
This is a 56K modem. It's twice as fast.
Yeah.
It's got all that fucking compression stuff now.
And
you're like, yeah, because I want to make my text rainbow and blink.
My booby pictures load that much faster.
And my ASCII Homer Simpson art or whatever.
God. That's amazing to think about that.
Yeah.
How we put up with it.
And now we're like,
this is the shit.
Next year in 2020, we're hoping to have ubiquitous 5G coverage across everywhere, which will be like 4 times 5 or 12 times the speed of fucking 4G. And you're like, on mobile phones.
Yeah.
On mobile phones.
On a mobile phone. I was just looking at our internet service through Consolidated and was like, we only have 100 megabit. You know what I mean? Like, when are I mean, like Comcast has got really insane speeds depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
And like I'm stuck at 100 megabit. Like, what's the deal? And I know
that's just what you're paying for because you have fiber.
Yeah, but they don't have the gigabit equipment in all the locations yet. I know they have it like out in West Park and
stuff. You know
stuff.
where I know they don't have it?
At my neighborhood.
At my neighborhood.
Oh, that's true.
Because I'm on cable because Sure West didn't have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
well, you got copper lines.
Tell me about your sad story.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like so funny to think how we're like back in the day was totally like the shit and acceptable to use modems and they were slow as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And just downloading an update from somebody. I mean, I think I made a Twitter post about I think it was the last show. Get it off of our BBS.
Oh, yeah.
8, none, and 1.
Yeah, yeah.
The company I worked at for like 10 years, we had a BBS. Before we even had a website or anything, we had a machine that sat in a closet that just ran a BBS, and people would call. I just need your BBS phone number and info. Yeah, here's the number, and it's 8, none, and 1, and you should be good to go. And they would download updates from our BBS. We had posted all the software up there. And that's unheard of. No one uses that stuff. Those are dinosaurs now, right?
Yeah.
And that was the shit back then. Otherwise, we'd have to literally physically mail them a floppy disk.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah.
Or some people would be like, I got the settings right, and I'm calling in, and it tries to handshake, but it just hangs up every time. It's like, I don't know, man. I can send you a floppy.
Yeah.
What's your okay? Type it all in.
Go to. Yeah.
You'll have it in a couple of days. We'll send you.
Pick up a floppy.
Yeah, we have no. I mean, we take a floppy and duplicate it, put our label on it, put it in a thing.
Yeah, or floppy disks. I didn't see anyone on that thread with floppy disks.
Right.
I mean, the amount of I remember. Oh my God! Wow.
Well, think about how little amount of data you can put on a floppy.
Right. 1.44 megs.
Yeah.
Trying to install Corel Draw.
I need floppy 6 of 40.
And it's like 14 fucking floppy disks. Ted, hashtag hi Ted.
Oh, yeah.
I know you know my pain. 14 fucking floppy disks. Skink.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I just repurposed the tower of my main rig from like a full tower. It's right over here. The full tower into
a big machine, man.
Into a mid tower because I got to the point where it's just too big. I moved all of my hard drives from platter base to SSDs.
Yeah.
So I don't need the space. I don't need the cooling.
Right.
I don't need the space. And I haven't used a CD-ROM.
Which I'm looking at it, and there's like 3 or 4 bays on the front.
Open bays.
Yeah.
Because at some point, I had multiple CD-ROMs and Blu-rays and whatnot because I would either rip or I was just using that many CD-ROMs. I haven't used a CD-ROM in like 5 fucking years.
Now, I will say this. I buy TurboTax. I usually buy it like somewhere.
Yeah.
Like fucking, I don't know, Walmart or somewhere. But it comes on disc. So I actually do have a little portable.
A CD disc?
Yeah. And I load it on my machine off of there.
There's got to be a digital solution.
There has to be. I don't know. Go buy it somewhere.
Or it's like a USB. I'm sure it's a digital download.
Probably. Well, I mean, look at what Apple does.
I mean, even
they have the App Store on all the Macs, right? Where you can't even. Where do you go to buy software anymore? You can't buy physical software anymore other than fucking TurboTax.
And apparently. I totally remember at PC Solutions there in Auburn, like the software CD racks that were like the sunglasses at like the AM/PMs or whatnot. It was just like $1.99 software bundle, like free trial stuff. And it was like CDs or floppy disks. It was just like, and you would spin it and be like, ooh, Doom?
But
you just don't
AOL?
Yeah, AOL.
There's an AOL disc here.
No, you want Oro.net. Oh, people that use AOL or CompuServe shop over there at Computer Addictions across the street because those are where the bitches shop. But you're in PC Solutions.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's funny stuff. But so I still have a purpose for my CD DVD player writer.
But you could probably move past it if you found the digital download.
Well, I bought it. So I mean, the machine I have is old. So I mean, I bought it years ago. But I mean, it still gets used every once in a while.
I think it's safe to say that the moment you were able to rebuild your Windows computer without the need of a CD-ROM was when that was like the headphone jack removal from the iPhones. It was like, I don't need a CD because now Windows is either kept on a memory chip or I can do it from a USB.
Yeah.
And CD-ROMs themselves are officially deprecated. And do I need a Blu-ray? No, because now at this point I can watch HD versions.
Stream them over the internet.
I can stream them over my broadband. I can watch it on Amazon in HD.
I know. That's amazing to think about that stuff.
It's gone that fast.
Yeah.
It was fast.
Yeah, it moved quick.
It wasn't... Because I was never a Laserdisc guy.
No. My parents had one of those RCA players that had it was like a Laserdisc, but it was a disc that was in a sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what those were called, but you'd put the sleeve into the machine, and then the machine would retain the disc, and it would pull the sleeve out, and the disc would stay in the player, and then you could watch. And it was less than standard def resolution, mind you.
Wow.
You'd watch the movie, and halfway through, it would stop, and you'd have to put the sleeve in, pull it out, and flip it over, and put it back in to watch the rest of the movie. And the disc was this big around.
That wasn't Laserdisc?
Laserdiscs were actual discs, like a CD that you just put into a tray would come out or whatever, and you'd put them on there, and they would go back in. This was this is before actual Laserdiscs.
Oh, okay.
So I want to say this was like early, mid-'80s.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was a place called Roy's TV and Appliance on the corner of Greenback and Hazel.
Okay.
And they had shitloads of these movies, and you would go flick through them, and they were these plastic cases. So they made this specific sound as you flip through them. Click, 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 click. And it was like looking through a stack of records. And you go to the next stack. Look, I haven't seen this on Golden Pond. You know what I mean?
Cocoon?
Yeah. So, funny stuff. God. I mean, it's moved quick.
Yeah, it's
really
fast.
Has. Now, I prefer to watch Blu-rays because, I mean, I know you can get stuff on that's 4K now. I don't have that kind of equipment at my house.
Yeah,
but I prefer
really
a Blu-ray for the audio, for the
yes,
like the not THX, but what's the other one?
Dolby.
No, I can't think of what the other. It's not Dolby. Anyway, there's a specific audio that's embedded into the movies that my surround sound reads, and I can't think of what it's called.
So here's the thing. So here's the funny thing with that. When I started, because we have the main living room, right, and that's got 5.1.
Yeah. That's what I got.
But the I would say it probably happened when we had kids, like the dedication to watching something in that room with that specific audio fidelity on that screen has started to wane.
Yeah.
For the quality afforded in.
Or the ease of use.
Ease of use in the it's like I know where the better audio experience is going to be, and that's out there where I've spent probably 1,000 plus in speakers.
Right.
Are they current? No, but it's still 1,000 at the point in time. And the screen is decent, but when I compare that to it's late at night, I'm in bed, or I'm in the office, and I'm working on a thing, and I want something running. It's like, this is acceptable, and this looks decent. Yeah. And you're like, and I've got it up on this screen or that screen, and I'm listening to it over Bluetooth or some sort of shit audio because it works at the time.
But the idea of it is for me is like, it's an entertainment. So you're decompressing, you're sitting down maybe with your wife or the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to have some popcorn and we're going to enjoy a film.
Yes.
And that's the way I would rather watch that way
And we just did that too. Were you a Matrix fan?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we watched years and years ago, I think it was probably before Xander was born. Years and years ago, we watched the original Matrix, and I think Piper watched it, but was too young to consume the concept.
Okay.
So,
there's a lot of stuff that would be really difficult for you.
I don't know if you just caught that the Wachowski brothers said that they were signed on, and they got Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss to sign on to Matrix 4.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we were talking about that at the dinner table the other day, and was like...
Didn't she die in the movie?
They both die.
I don't remember in the last film.
Yeah, the last one, she dies. She gets in... Spoiler... fucking whatever. She gets impaled by...
If you're spoiling this for somebody now...
Yeah, at this point, if you don't know...
I just don't remember.
She gets impaled when he flies to the Machine City, and then he sacrifices himself to get code uploaded to destroy Smith, who's taken over all people in the Matrix.
Yeah.
So we were talking about it at the dinner table, like, Matrix 4, blah, 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 and Barbara's like, I remember it, but it was like one of those things at the corner of my mind. She's like, I can't quite remember, but I remember.
And probably some of the stuff, like, I just didn't get.
Right.
You know.
So we rewatched the entire trilogy.
Nice.
Probably it was last week after the last podcast. Like, we caught all three of them. But we did so on the big screen.
That's the place to watch that stuff.
And it was, it was like, that's the experience you have. But those movie experiences are, we go to that room for that specifically. Right. But generally speaking, we're consuming media on
phones, tablets,
less than
computers,
optimal, probably intended devices.
I mean, I'm just like in the kind of mindset where it's like, if I'm going to spend my time to watch something and I'm going to motorcycle around really loud.
Right. I'm just going to cut the mufflers off and go.
No, if I want to put my attention at something, I want to be able to like enjoy it. And that doesn't mean watching on my iPhone on a tiny screen with a pair of headphones in. I want to sit down and have it on a big screen and kind of enjoy that experience. There's a big difference to me in the audio, the way the audio is set up, and the sound and all that stuff. I love the surround sound with all the you get like a spatial
and I
interaction.
think too, the movies that I have started to really care where I want that perfect experience for seem to be also the ones where like a lot of these boutique, I'm going to call them boutique theaters like Studio Movie Grill or the one over there at Palladio in Folsom, where you have a super cush seat. They're bringing food to you.
Yeah. But distracting at the same time, though. If they're running around during the film and you're like,
yeah,
bro, I'm trying to watch this.
But a lot of the seats are, you could go the one step down where you're not doing the food, and you could be like, you could just have the really cush recliner, and you're going to get the whatever, the 80 different fucking speakers going across the thing.
Yeah.
If I want that premium experience for Avengers Endgame, I know I'm not going to get anything close to that at my home,
absolutely.
Which is working on like 7+ year old tech.
Yeah.
Versus this is one I have to see in the theaters.
Yeah.
And that you spend the now, what are we up to? $12.50, $15 for a movie theater ticket?
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
but
if it's
that's the premium you're paying for that.
There's a worth it factor for some of that stuff, right?
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'll see that in the fucking movies because it's going to be that much better at a theater.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that like I have seen before, or I mean, we still have a Blu-ray plan with Netflix, so we're getting movies from them all the time. Still, we still have a queue of Blu-ray movies, and they're coming to the house all the time.
Oh wow!
So we watch stuff through that system like constantly, and that system is aged now.
Yeah.
In fact, I found a bug. So I have a Yamaha receiver. I found a bug in the receiver where I had to change the quality of the decompression setting to be less than optimal, in my opinion, although no one would notice except me in my family.
Yeah.
And I actually was in contact with Yamaha like, hey, man, there's this, from what I have read on the internet, there's a firmware update for this unit. And apparently the way the firmware update works is they send you a CD and it plays an audio file that you hook up to the back of the unit and put it in this like update mode.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads the audio and reprograms the chip from this audio file that you play onto an audio input.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't have that update anymore. I'm like, fuck, man. You know, I said, this is not cool. We had the problem forever. I just didn't know what it was. And then one day I was like, I'm going to figure out why it was. What happens is some audio channels, like you watch TV and stuff, and some things, there would be like hits in the audio, like little crackles and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Well, and then I was fucking around in the settings and found the setting that decreases the quality, and it went away. And I was like, oh, there's a bug. And then I did a bunch of research online and found that, this wasn't like a known thing. And everyone's like, oh, you need the update. Well, I was way late to the party figuring out what was the fix for this.
Yeah.
To the point to where Yamaha doesn't even have it anymore.
Yeah. They're like, perhaps I can interest you in the new Yamaha 9001, sir.
Yeah, literally. Like, the guy was like, well, buy a new receiver. I'm like, for real?
Yeah.
Like, that's your answer, bro?
That's
for a
answer.
$350 Yamaha 5.1 receiver, just get a new one?
Yeah. And he's like, well, if you really are that concerned about 720p 5.1 digital audio, sir, then
right.
I guess you need the new receiver.
Yeah, you're a real player.
Hey, do you still push your car by putting your feet to the ground, you fucking grandpa? And you're like, hey.
I'm like, no, but I do.
Too much, bitch.
I do use a crank on the front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes the kickback's a bitch. Whatever. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. You buy into it, and then you have to live with it.
Yeah. Fuck. All that works, too. Like, when you were talking about headphones, I'm like, headphones now...
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to just being like medium capacity drivers. Now your headphones have 3D spatial capabilities. So it's like, they're simulating a 5.1 experience. Like, well, like I said, I've got $1,000+ in 7-year-old... tower, shelf speakers and a powered subwoofer and some, remote rears. It's like, if I were to put on a really high quality pair of like Sennheisers or something, I may just as well get damn close in a virtual, 3D spatial algorithm.
Yeah, but then you have to buy a set for everybody in the damn house. I mean, I have...
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about...
I have the same kind of thing in my house. I went to Monoprice. I bought all the connectors. I ran wires up into the attic to the rears with all the banana plugs and all that shit. And then mounted the speakers, right? So it's all clean. There's nothing on the walls other than the speakers and the little outlet things.
Yeah.
I think it's Polk Audio... all the way around, center channel and all the other channels, and then a Sony powered sub, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck,
And how often do you use it to the maximum capacity to get like that
Well,
perfect fidelity, experience that you're
if it's a movie, DTX.
Yes,
They
DTS.
uses DTS audio. So that's all like embedded into the film, and so when it sees that DTS audio, that's when you get the good. And the stuff's got even better now. But DTS was the shit back then.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember going to the Good Guys. That's no longer. I think we talked about that in the last podcast. And watching Twister. Twister used to be like my benchmark THX DTS surround capabilities stuff. It was like the amount of stuff that you would hear as the hurricane
when the cow whips
tornado
around.
and just that amount of fidelity, and plus it always had the THX thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
But the amount of times that we would go to the Good Guys and just catch that and sit in their like theater room, like, I totally want to build this.
I want this for my.
But like, I work at Sizzler.
And I want this for my bedroom.
But
I work in Sizzler.
I can't even afford a bed frame. My mattress is still on a box spring that's on the carpet.
I'm working at Spaghetti Factory. Yeah.
What's that happening? So I'd go to watch Twister at Good Guys.
Yeah. I don't know, you guys. I just kind of feel like watching Twister today. You guys want to go to Good Guys and hang out?
Watch it on Laserdisc.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I remember for my birthday, my mom was going to buy me a stereo. And we went to Good Guys and we're looking around and I was like, no. Because I wanted like a component like kind of set up with like a record player and like dual tape deck and like equalizer and that kind of shit. And I was like, no, these are all too expensive. I didn't want her to spend a ton of money.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Well, they had like a hallway that went back to the left side of the store that went like by the front glass. And there was like some stuff like displayed in that little hallway to the bathroom.
Okay.
And I go walking down, I'm like, holy shit, that's what I want. It was for me, like fucking high school kid. It was a 3 or 4 component Fisher setup with big fucking speakers.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that. I still have it, but I don't use it.
No,
it's sitting up in the attic. But yeah, crazy shit.
Had it.
Yeah, and then I remember buying my first CD player.
No.
Did you ever buy a CD player?
I bought a Discman. I remember my first Discman.
Okay. Yeah, I bought like a component CD player. Push the button, the tray comes out. That was like mind blowing how good CDs sounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like insane. And they still sound really good because they're all uncompressed, right?
Yeah.
And I just bought a bunch of CDs at Dimples going out of business.
Yes.
So we went there and everything was like 50% off, so I bought some stuff.
Do you still have vinyls over there?
Some not very good stuff anymore.
I was going to say vinyls are like the resurgence where it's at, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a bunch of vinyl still. I love my vinyl. That's all punk rock stuff, too.
When we bought the RV, it had like a completely dedicated DVD. I mean, it's like wide, that deep.
Was it combo DVD and VHS?
No, it was it was solely DVD. But it was at the time when we were like looking to replace the screen, which was like a CRT.
Yeah.
It was like, well, we could put a flat panel in here. It's like, well, we can put an Xbox, of which we had extra on. We could put an Xbox in here.
Yeah.
And that is a DVD player, a media player, and it's smaller in every single way than this huge red box looking fucking DVD player that only does one thing.
Yeah, in the RV.
It was like, and that was
funny.
Early 2000s is when that was brand new.
Yeah.
Like, how fucking crazy is this?
It just went so fast.
It did.
I think in our bedroom we still have a combo DVD and VHS player.
We have in the living room. I was just looking at this the other day. We have a bookcase of DVDs that nothing. I mean, there's
no one looks
at what? You know, what were DVDs when they were brand new in heyday?
Oh,
16 to
18,
25 bucks, maybe.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
probably in there.
Yeah, we got a shit ton too.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's 8 feet tall by 4 to 5, shelves, wall to wall of DVDs.
No one touches.
That no one touches. No one touches.
So we bought a like a thing that goes at the end of your bed.
Yeah.
That's like a I don't even know what it's like, a bench with the flip up. It's like cushy on top.
Yeah.
And it flips up in the storage inside.
Yeah. Like a hope chest?
I mean, it's got fabric on it.
Is it a prison?
It's a prison.
Fucking nailed
for
it.
VHS tapes. Wow. We loaded that motherfucker with VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And we just, I don't know where they went, but like shit tons of Disney, VHS, all these stuff that were put in there.
Yeah.
I was like, this is all storage that we're not getting back.
So
we're just storing this shit.
You would
for
mention
no
the
reason.
Disney. So Venus is a collector of the Disney VHS stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where her collection is. It may be at her
As you look
dad's.
around the garage.
Right. I don't recall putting them in the attic or not.
Well, that would be a bad place to
But
keep them.
she was a collector of all the tapes, and I think she had started slowly as Disney released
DVDs.
the DVDs. She was replacing.
Yeah.
But I don't know
If she ever got rid of the VHS.
if she ever what she did with the VHS. I'm sure they're probably still collector's items either way.
Oh yeah.
But she was a collector too.
Yeah.
I don't know if she got them all, but she was adamant about if Disney released the DVD version of something she had on VHS, she was buying it
Right.
to have as part of her collection.
Well, it's weird how they do it because they have like a vault schedule or something. Like the vault, we open the vault.
Yes,
to,
I
like,
recall
release
her
this.
mentioning.
Yeah. To release movie X or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't just sell that all the time. Like it's not just always on the shelf to go buy it. Apparently not. I guess they just release it for a certain amount of time, and if you don't get it, you don't get it until they do it again.
Yeah.
So
now they have Disney Plus, and you can watch whatever you want there, and you'll never be a collector.
Yeah. You'll just collect them in your noggin. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're good on time.
What?
Yeah. 102.
That felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like turn left part.
Oh, yeah. Turn left. Also, please be kind and rewind.
Absolutely.
Things your kids won't know in this generation.
I know. Well, you used to get charged if you returned a movie and didn't rewind it. Well, what do you mean? Well, it was a tape. So.
Okay. So I will end on a funny story. And I can't remember if I've told this. If I have, just stop me.
Okay.
Because otherwise then we'll just end. So
Stop.
Okay.
I've heard
Perfect.
it. No, I'm kidding.
I think I was in high school because I could drive. We had rented, my mom, I think, had rented an Indiana Jones movie from the Video Mine, which is right there at Combi.
Okay.
It used to be a video store right there at Combi.
All right.
And had a Fiero. And I don't know what fucking happened to that Indiana Jones tape, but lost it, never returned it. And they would, if you remember not returning your movies, you would get a notice and they would call you and say, hey, you've got past due notice. So my mom had told me, I came home one day and my mom was like, where's the Indiana Jones movie? You were supposed to return the
He needs to go back.
He needs to go back.
Yeah.
And I checked my car. I don't know what happened to this fucking tape. It fell out somewhere. Someone stole it. No fucking clue.
Yeah.
Gone to the wind.
Yeah.
And so I had driven to the Video Mine, and I talked to someone at the counter. I'm like, what would happen if I didn't have it?
Yeah.
Like if it got ruined or something, I couldn't find it.
I think I know the
like
answer.
what if my mom and they said it's $75
Oh, that's
to replace the
cheap.
movie. Well, at the time,
Well, I think
I'm like fucking washing dishes, and I've got like $10 to my name. I'm
Well,
like,
I know, but
don't
I swear that the rental copies they were buying were like in the hundreds.
may have been.
Yeah.
But the guy told me, I don't even remember
$75.
$75, and I
Okay.
went,
What? I gotta find that tape.
I don't know where I'm gonna get that.
Yeah.
They had a Blockbuster in Auburn that it was in the space where I think that shopping center-ish with the McDonald's and whatnot.
Okay.
That's there right there, Bell and 49.
Yeah.
I happened to be in there for whatever reason with a group of people, and I saw the same Indiana Jones movie for like $5 used.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I bought that tape, and I went back to VideoMine. So I spent $6. I went back to VideoMine, and I think our late fee was $10. And I went, we lost the case.
Here's the movie.
Here's the movie.
Yeah.
And it was $10 done. So I was out under 20.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
fucking done.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah. Things kids won't know.
I remember, just real quick, Shannon and I hanging out at her house, and we'd go to Placer TV and rent a movie, and then a couple days later, Roger would get a call, her dad, your movie, and then we'd be like, hey, you guys need to return that movie.
Yeah.
It happened all the time.
Don't forget to rewind it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Be kind, rewind.
Be kind, rewind.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. We're going to finish up?
That's it.
I feel like we need to keep wiping.
With 3 wipe gyms?
Yes. Absolutely. All right. Well, we're gonna finish this up, and we appreciate you listening.
We'll catch you next week.
Next week will be
52nd episode.
Our 52nd episode,
which would put us at a year. But Venus told me that we started in October, so I'm not sure how that works.
We did start I think at the beginning of October.
So we're shooting for something special.
Yeah.
Wherever that 1 year anniversary is.
Yeah. Keep us in mind. We'll have some more content coming.
Anyway.
All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Have a good week.
See you later.
See you later.